Back for a 1500 battle report with Tyranids and Salamanders. So this is my 1500 point Tyranid list. I brought a Leviathan Battalion and a Kronos Patrol Detachment. In my HQ slot for the Leviathan, I have a Flyrant with the Double Devours, Monstrous Rending Claws, Psychic Scream, Catalyst. I have a Neurothrope, who is going to be my Warlord. He has... I think it's the Horror, I believe. Yeah, he is the Horror. It's his secondary power. And then these Zoanthropes, I have a max squad of Zoanthropes. They have Psychic Scream as their secondary power. And then they have a Lictor, obviously just bare bones. 7 warriors, all with Deathspitters and Boneswords, except one just has Sliding Talents, just because they had to squeak in some extra points here. 2 units of Hormagaunts, 10 in each squad. Kronos Detachment, I have a Neurothrope with Symbiostorm and Resonance Barb. 3 Rippers, 5 Hive Guard, and Exocrine with Dermic Symbiosis with Progency of the Hive Mind, however you say that, for my additional adaptive physiology. As I forgot to mention, these guys have enhanced resistance. That is 1500 points of Tyranids.
Alright, we got 1500 points of Salamanders here. Actual Salamanders this time, no Salamander successor, so I have my rerolls. And I also have my Ignore -1 AP weapons. So, starting out, I got my Agent of the Imperium, I got my Vindicare Assassin, hopefully dealing some damage. Also have my Captain in his Terminator armor. He's got a Relic Blade and a Combi Melta. Also have my Lieutenant right there. He's a regular Lieutenant, not a Primaris. He's got a Teeth of Terra Chainsword and a Bolt Pistol, so I spent a CP on him to get the Chainsword. And then my Librarian, the Primaris Librarian, he's my Warlord. And he's got 3 powers, Fire Shield, Drake Skin, Psychic Fortress, and he's also got the Reliquary of Gathalamor for his relic, and he's also Chief Librarian. So, moving on to my troop choices. I took 2 tech squads, 2 5-man squads, both with flamers. Sergeant with bolt guns. He does not actually have a sword. He's got a just regular old bolt gun. I also have a 10-man squad of intercessors, all run the auto bolt rifles for their assault, three shots each. And I also have a infiltrator squad, 5-man squad. Hopefully they'll do some work. We'll see what happens. And then in my elite slot, I got my 3 aggressors, Boltstorm, Gauntlets, and Fragstorm. And I also have my Dreadnought, who's running double las cannon this time. And for my last but not least, I have my Land Raider Achilles with my Meltas and my quad launcher. So, that's 2,000 points. Salamanders.
Here's the battlefield we're playing on. So we are playing Sweep and Clear. Probably going to do one last game with the terrain set up, then we're going to go ahead and create a new battlefield, but we haven't played it enough that I think we're too familiar with it yet. But we're playing Sweep and Clear from the GT 2020 pack, so it's a circle in the middle, deployment zone there, and there. 5 objectives in total, 1 in each quarter, with the 5th one being in the center of the table. For secondaries, I chose Engage, Direct Assault, or sorry, I should say Engage in All Front, I'll fully say the name, and Direct Assault, which is the mission secondary, which you have to control the center objective or your opponent's objective in their deployment zone, or both for 5 points. So controlling one is 3 points. And I chose Scramblers, my list was built around that. And then he chose Raise the Banners, Direct Assault as well, and While We Stand We Fight, which is your Land Raider, Dreadnought, and Intercessors. So we're going to roll to see who gets the deployment zone. We'll come back after that, see deployment, find out who gets first turn. A 2 to a 5. So the Salamanders will get to pick which zone they want, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. So we've gone ahead and deployed here. So with Salamanders winning the roll, they chose that corner over here, opposing my side over this way. So I deployed my warriors by this objective with the ability to spread out. The aggressors, or just the aggressors, are in strategic reserve. In my strategic reserve, I spent the CP for the Exocrine. I haven't really done this yet. I know it's a widely used strat by a lot of the Tyranid players, so I'm going to give it a go. I got my Lictor and my Rippers as well. So, and then I have my Hive Guard tucked in there, not touching the terrain, so they are hidden nicely. Same with my Zoanthropes and Neurothrope right there. Then I have my Gaunts right here. I put them out. I was going to go for that objective just to get as much ground as possible. Maybe should have held them back, but we'll see. Over here I got my Tyrant nice and hidden, so he should be okay for at least for the first turn. Then we'll see what happens with him, and the other Hormagaunts ready to jump on this objective, and my Kronos Neurothrope over this way, so he is just within 12 there. I mean, I still have my movement, but gonna play around with some ideas with that model. And then over this way we have the Dreadnought, the Captain, Librarian right there, Tac Squad, Intercessors up with the Stinking Vindicare, the Infiltrators snuck up this way. So you might be thinking like, oh, they're gonna get zapped anyway. So it's actually very smart to set them up there, because he's gonna grab that if he gets first turn. And also be able to set them up in such a way that my Zoanthropes can't come out and smite in here. So great way to deny that and really force my hand a little bit with movement. Then the other Tac Squad here, Dreadnought and Lieutenant on this side. So that's it for deployment. We're going to go ahead and see who gets first turn. Big roll here. Let's go and see what happens. A 2-3. Salamanders take it again, winning all the roll-offs. So we'll come back after turn 1 movement Salamanders. Moving Salamanders turn 1. So these guys advanced up this way. Dreadnought moved up with the Lieutenant. Not a whole lot of targets. Probably really not going to be too much shooting, but we'll see. These guys moved up, threw a banner up there, and grabbed that objective. So securing 3 victory points at minimum with those guys. And also holding that objective. These guys threw up a banner, just moved over this way, trying to get set up a little bit to hopefully deny the Lictor. It's going to be tough. I mean, he's a small model, but I mean, forcing me to move more so in the open is not a bad thing at all. Then over this way, the tank moved forward to hopefully get a line on these guys over this way as they come up. So that's it for movement. We'll come back after Psychic and I guess the Librarian moved up. I'll be able to avoid the Reliquary, but he's got a decent setup there to kind of position himself a little bit more. So we'll come back after turn 1 movement, Psychic and shooting. That ends Salamander's turn 1. So only thing that could shoot was the Land Raider. Fired him with its little launcher thing. Took out 2 of these Gaunts thanks to having cover, and Leviathan. And then the Librarian gave these guys Psychic Fortress and then Fire Shield over on these guys as well. So I wasn't in deny range, so I got both of those off quite easily, and that's it. So 3 points scored for holding this objective for direct assault. 2 banners up, and that's it. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 1. Tyranids turn 1 moving, so my Hormagaunts moved over there. Really poor on my advance roll, so I had to spend a CP to reroll to get them in range of that objective. Zoanthropes move this way. I'm really going to try and focus down this Dreadnought. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe kill him. It's hard to say. Got to get some good psychic powers off. Warriors move over here along with this Neurothrope, just shifting ahead to get in Symbio Storm range of the Hive Guard. So I have denied his aggressors. I was going to overdrive these guys, but I just left them in the open. I'm hoping I can chip his aggressors down. I mean, he has the tank there, but potentially what happens with that Flyrant, I'm going to maybe make his tank make some tough choices. We'll see. So that's it for movement. We'll come back after Psychic and shooting. Psychic and shooting. So took out the Dreadnought with some good rolling from the Zoanthropes. The Neurothrope took out another guy there. Took out another one with the Tyrant Smite. Hive Guard had the double tap into the Intercessors, killing 5 altogether thanks to Transhuman Physiology. Probably would have been all of them. Rolled actually phenomenally well with my hits. With Symbio Storms, getting a ton of hits. Double tapped with them, obviously. And the Tyrant whiffed his shooting against these guys where they were -1 to hit. But that's all I could do there. So Tyrant is not in a good spot, but he's going to be charging it. So we'll come back and see how he does. That's it for the Tyranids turn. So the Tyrant, I was really worried about it, but I took those guys out. Denied that objective. I overran this way. I mean, I could have left him there, but I am holding more objectives right now. So I'm going to deny that, and I took away his hold too. So Tyrant got quite far. I only have 3 CP left. Kind of a CP heavy turn, but I did the damage that I needed to do first turn. So still the aggressors coming in. A few juicy spots for them to jump in and attack. So we'll come back after turn 2 movement Salamanders. That ends Salamanders turn 2 movement. So, scoring 5 points for the primary right here, and also getting banner. Captain moved over this way towards this objective. The tank moved forward. The aggressors held off for now just to get some better positioning and react to what I'm going to do with my exocrine. So, smart move there. The lieutenant moved back. These marines moved back, so forcing me to have to deal with them and move either my Tyrant or my Zoanthropes over this way. And the marines moved over this way to deny my Lictor from coming in that corner. So I'm probably going to have to hold off on him as well. So let's move it, and we'll come back after Psychic and shooting. Salamanders turn 2. So there was one combat. We'll mention that shortly. The tank fired in, killed off 5 gaunts. Actually, we'll just say it now because it's right here. The tank charged in and actually killed off 2 Hormagaunts. I moded Synapse. I took kind of a risk doing that, sending the Tyrant away, where this is a Kronos Neurothrope. And then he killed 2, actually, with the tank. And then my last one ran away. So grabbing that objective, so that holds him that objective and wiped out another unit for me. Over this way, the assassin fired in at the Zoanthropes but missed there, and that was really it for shooting. So pretty quiet turn. Everyone's kind of just skittering around the outside. There's actually nothing in the middle. So that's it for Salamanders turn 2. So scoring 6 points altogether for a total of 9 points for the Salamanders. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 2 moving. Ends Tyranids movement on turn 2. So the exocrine came in here. Reason being is he can shoot at the captain with this guy also smiting in at the captain. And if the captain, let's say, gets super smitted by him, then we'll be in a good spot. Still in range of the Hive Guard here as well with the Neurothrope. The other Zoanthrope moved over just in range to smite the intercessors there while being out of deny range. Tyrant jumped over this way. These guys here, the Hormagaunts, did the neutral zone scrambler, and the Rippers came up here to grab that objective. So that's it for turn 2 movement. We'll come back after Psychic and shooting. That ends Tyranids turn 2. So we just rolled the charge. Well, I guess the charge didn't go off. We'll just go over here. So the Tyrant tried to charge in here, shot with his Devourers, didn't do a darn thing. He made all his saves, so not doing good on that front with the Tyrant. However, did get a smite off, dropped him down a wound. Or sorry, not smite, Psychic Scream. Failed my smite. Then over this way, these guys dropped down the intercessors, 3 guys, and then the Hive Guard finished off the other 2 to deny 5 points for the while we stand. Then the Hive Guard double tapped to take out the captain. And I spent a CP to stay still with the exocrine when he came in here, and he actually tanked all of the exocrine's wounds, so very well on that front. So I had to spend the CP to deny him having a guy over there, and then make him choose between the Land Raider moving forward and giving up that objective or coming for mine. So in total, at 17 points for getting 2 for engage, 3 for the direct assault with the Rippers right there. So we'll come in after Salamanders turn 3 movement. That ends Salamanders turn 3 moving, shooting, and psychic. There wasn't a whole lot of moving, so we just rolled that all together. Tank just adjusted over this way to get some shots into the warriors. Got very lucky on my Leviathan saves there. You got 3 hits in and rolled a 2 for the damage for one of them, which I got 1/6 with that, which negated another full roll, just killing off another one. So they are not too bad. These guys over here killed off 5, I think, altogether. Or 4 of them altogether, made 1 Leviathan save. The Marines over here shimmied out just to try and hopefully chip them away enough to pull me off the objective. Aggressors came in here doing a fair amount of wounds, actually, with the aggressors. And actually those tack guys did, I think, 3 wounds there, so not bad at all. Then the lieutenant's in prime position to charge in at him. Librarian moved over here. He tried to smite in at the Tyrant, but failed that, but got off the fire shield, I think it was, on himself. And then these Zoanthropes were dropped down 2 wounds thanks to the sniper. So some charge is going to go ahead. We'll come back after that. In terms of primaries, scoring 10 points and 1 for the banner. So that's it, and we'll come back after all the Salamanders turn 3. So between the aggressive, well, actually not even between the two of them, the Lieutenant alone took out the Tyrant, dealing a total of 8 damage. All 4 of his attacks went through, and all 4 wounding. So Tyrant taken out, the aggressors and him just consolidate this way, trying to make some... they wouldn't be able to get away from everything, but make me have to move in a particular way that either would protect these guys, or I'd have to choose really who I'm going for. So in total, scoring 11 points altogether for this turn. So putting you at 20 points for the Salamanders to 17 for Tyranids. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 3 movement. Tyranids moving for turn 3. So getting 15 points altogether for primaries. Ripper's just shifted around to this side. Zoanthrope's moved ahead to get... I think they're either going to be hitting this Vindicare or the aggressors. Either way, though, I moved up the Exocrine to get line of sight on them, as well as these guys, depending on what I want to do. These Gaunts moved over that way just to force him to have to come around the corner. Hive Guard stay put. Chronos Neurothrope moved back here, getting a line of sight drawn on the Librarian for some smiting. Still in 12 of these guys. The Warriors moved ahead just to roadblock the land raid. They're going to die, so they're just there to make sure I don't get my objective taken for direct assault. And the Lictor had a little pocket to pop in right there, threw down the Scrambler, so getting my Scramblers completed. So that's it for moving. We'll come back to after Psychic and shooting. Ends Tyranids turn 3. So killing off 2 of the aggressors between some Psychic, Scream, and Smite. He denied my Smite here, and I lost one thanks to the Reliquary. I had to take a risk for it. Lost some more wounds on my Neurothrope, who double-sixed. But between him and the Exocrine, I didn't spend any CP. I wanted to double tap with the Hive Guard. Hive Guard took out the Librarian. I needed to get him out of there just so my Psychic powers could just continue to go forward. The Warrior's actually chipping off 3 wounds on the Land Raider, and the Hive Guard double tapped, like I said, taking out the Librarian, but also shooting at the tank, dropping it down 6 wounds. So slowly but surely chipping that old thing away. A little hard, but sitting pretty good. So Lictor came in, like I said, Scramblers down, so that's 10 points there. 2 for my engage, 3 for my direct assault, and then I got max on primary. So 37 points for the Tyranids to 20. Now let's move into turn 4, Salamanders. Salamanders turn 4, we just rolled through. Not a whole lot of moving again, where things are winding down at the end of the battle, but over here was the most action-packed part of the table. Neurothrope was taken out in close combat with the Lieutenant and the aggressor charging and finishing him off. The aggressor consolidated into the Exocrine. These guys charge in. I chose to attack these guys, just being that they're obsec, I need to get rid of them, and I get to shoot into combat next turn, plus I can still smite into combat if needed. So we'll see what happens. Over this way, the tank absolutely decimated the Rippers, taking away that objective from me, plus my direct assault, unless I commit something over there. Lictor was dropped down to 2 wounds, scoring a total of 11 points for this turn, I think. Yeah, 11 points, so total of 31 to 37 for the Tyranids as of right now. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 4 movement. Ends Tyranids turn 4. So over here, the Exocrine didn't chip off the final wound there, used his last CP to save him. The Lictor charged in, got killed in Overwatch. I just figured I can get that banner down, and he's going to die either way. The Flamer's not in range of anything else, so he'd flame it. Then over here, the tank was taken out by the Hive Guard. And for objectives, I got 10 for my primaries, 3 for direct assault, and Scramblers is all done. I knew I gave up engage, but I'm sitting pretty good right now, and I was just trying to deny that objective. So we'll come back after Salamanders turn 5. So that's the end of the game. We just very quickly played with the last turn. So final score, 66 to 37 for the Tyranids. Tyranids maxed out on primary with 45, 31 for secondaries altogether. 30 for the Salamanders primary, and only 7 for the secondary. But we talked it through, and I think While We Stand was a tough one. Taking that, I find with that one, unless there's something that's super duper hard to kill, like I really focused down on killing the While We Stand units. They actually probably would have changed where I put things just based off killing them. But on a whole, very well played on both parts. This list I was just testing out. You might say it's more of a competitive Tyranid list, but we're just trying it out, and he was up for the challenge, so we took a look and seen how it was going to perform. In terms of secondaries as well, are you still in favor of banners? I know a lot of people stand by it, but here in the basement, we have not really had a game where banners for either side has ever actually worked out. Even myself, I gave up on it. No longer a fan of that. But on a whole, I think well played on both sides. Some good rolling in favor of the Tyranids this time around. But we'll definitely be back for more. And stay tuned for some Tyranid tactic as well. It should be up this coming week.